These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite, that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the 3 mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agi, the Harahite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground, and defended it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great victory. And 3 of the 30 chief went down, and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in an hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. Nevertheless he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, Be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among 3. And he lifted up his spear against 300, and slew them, and had the name among 3. Was he not most honorable of 3? Therefore he was their captain, howbeit he attained not unto the first 3. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man. And the Egyptian had a spear in his hand. But he went down to him with a staff, and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and slew him with his own spear. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among 3 mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first 3. And David set him over his guard.
Shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, like the other nations scattered across the 4 corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, Rawchaa. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, who everybody ignorantly calls God, his true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is in the Rawchaa, Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. Then you got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the 4 corners of the earth that will come back to the loins of the elect after the destruction. The Qadash is the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the men. The Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, led us all to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness and baptisms are part of the elect to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, us be able to find those who fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5, it is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom to all you sincere believers out there. Tune in here on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak Atham. And we just go get to, short lesson going into a couple topics dealing with, it's the time where it's coming where, all the situations that we've been through as Israelites, even before we came into the truth, it was all basically to be able to allow the Most High to abide with us, and the scriptures speak of that. Like, the Lord's not dealing with you if you don't really go through, a great fight of afflictions, what the scriptures say, and, this place definitely, it's vexing to Jake, but this is part of the process of being one with Yahawashi. So it's just something that we gotta, endure and learn how to take cheerfully, when the times come where, some things don't work out or whatever, you still got to look at it as, this is the Lord basically showing you that he's dealing with you. So, Lord, when it's edifying to the flock, we'll go into a few things and, we'll go into a couple things that's going on in the earth as well. A couple things that's happening. And, we'll just get right to it. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 32. It says, but call to remembrance the former days in which after you were illuminated, which means basically you were enlightened and you were taught this truth. You came into this truth, and of course, they call the left-hand side of the Lord, they're called the illuminated ones, the Illuminati. But, the true Illuminati, which means the illuminated ones are the elect, okay, of Israel, okay, because nobody knows who they are. But, there were men that were sent to show Israel how to, basically put yourself in that stead, of what the elect act like and what the elect go through, So as it says, illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions, right? Partly whilst being made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, right? So this is what happens when you get illuminated, when you come into the truth. You go through a lot of affliction, a lot of reproach. You go through a lot of things that necessarily, people who think when they come into understanding who the Lord is, they think that they just gonna, life is gonna get easier or something. No, the life is gonna get harder because he's gonna test you. He's gonna put you through certain stuff, and it's gonna be, through a process of time that really shows if you really love the Lord or not. So continuing, it says, partially while being made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions. Right? You got a lot of people that look at us like, why are you in the truth if this shit ain't like your life ain't getting no better? Why are you still suffering and dealing with certain stuff? Because they don't understand how the Lord works. So it says, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used, right? So a lot of people that we deal with are going through, other Israelites, we're going through all the same stuff together. All of us having where most of the time stuff don't work our way, and every now and then it does. The Lord is not like just the Lord is a just power. Like he ain't gonna make it where just nothing don't work out. Sometimes stuff will work out, but we're ultimately wanting salvation to work for us, So the rest of this stuff, it's not really a big deal, So we'll keep reading. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. So the Lord, a lot of the times, he makes it to where things ain't always gonna, just work out so perfect for you, because he doesn't want us to feel comfortable here. He doesn't want us to forget that we got something better coming for us, man. And just like the title says, the wrinkles in a man's eyes will show a man's pain. It's like basically just a saying of, it basically it's like a connection to, basically your wisdom and your resilience or your endurance, man. Like those are the things that when somebody that has a lot of wisdom, when you see, when they look tired sometimes, because because it shows that they went through a flight of afflictions, a fight of afflictions, you know. So, you know, that's just kind of like it's like a saying of, you know, the only way you're going to obtain wisdom is through hard times, you know, and there's no way you're going to be prepared for Jacob's trouble unless you endure those times and learn something from them, you know. So it's Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3, and you know, it speaks of as a servant is no greater than, and a servant is no greater than his master. So what Yahawashi went through, you know, there is a period of time, especially when you first come into the truth, you're going to go through a lot of tests, you know, and you know, being in the truth, like, you know, it's different. Like, you know, 5 years in the truth ain't that long, man. 10 years in the truth ain't that long. So it's a different type of affliction that's going to come upon you as you come into the truth. You know, this is being reestablished into righteousness. So it's going to be a lot harder to obtain. Just like we was talking about yesterday, anything easily gained will be easily lost. So the Lord doesn't want us to gain. There's no way you're going to gain immortality and salvation through an easy process. It's got to be, you know, something that afflicts our souls, and that's what we're coming into in the next couple of days. You know, the day of atonement. You know, so this is why my spirit's been kind of going into, you know, prepare, you know, to suffer, man. Prepare to suffer, because this is what's coming to Israel, man. And a lot of Israelites want you to feel good and how you know, and all that, but you want to look at this as, you know, this is what's supposed to, this should make you feel better than anything, knowing that he's preparing us. If he didn't want us to make it through it, he wouldn't even be telling us what's going to come. So this is Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3. He is despised and rejected of men. This is talking about Yahawashi. We can go up to, we can start at 1, right? The suffering servant. And we're all servants. If you're an Israelite, you're a servant, you know? And that's going to elders and apostles on down. You know, we're servants, but also the women and the children that believe in the Lord, they're servants too. You know, they have to show themselves as an example around who they're around, you know, just in case, you know, somebody that's out there, they see your works, and you know, it can cause them to prepare themselves. So this is Isaiah 53, verse 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed, right? It's revealed to the men. You know, that's how he speaks to Israel. Verse 2, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of a dry ground, right? Coming, basically talking about Yahawashi was going to basically come, you know, and bring us into this truth, man, well, which is salvation, man. That's how we are able to get saved, is that he died for the elect. Okay. That was a very serious situation he had to go through to be able to obtain salvation. So we have to go through that, and really to atone for our sins, we had to go through a lot of afflictions, man. A lot of different lifetimes that we don't remember, because of course reincarnation is in the Bible. You know, if you don't know by now, go watch the videos. But like, you know, we had to go through those same things. You know, who knows who we could have been last time. But we went through a lot of stuff just to be able to get to the end, and the Lord shine his wisdom on us, man. You know? So like it says, he have no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So that's how the form of Yahawashi when he came on the scene. A lot of Israelites didn't really have no desire for him. And that's how it is for us. You know, nobody don't really want to be around you know, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. And you foreign Israelites too. Just because you look like the other nations don't mean you're not going through the same thing. You're going to go through it too. You know, because you're Israelite. You know, and a lot of Jake don't understand that just because you're going through afflictions doesn't mean that the Lord's dealing with you. You got to be able to, you know, it's all through your service. It's how you react whenever you do go through those things and whatever happens to you, it's all about what your purpose is. Like, what are you really doing? What you're doing for? Is it for yourself and your worldly desires, or is it really to get closer to Yahawashi? That's really what it comes down to. So not a lot of people, when you come to this truth, there's a lot of times you're going to be alone, and that's good. That's good when we are alone. That gives you time to prepare yourself to when, it comes, who's really dealing with you, man. Because you're going to come to a time where there's going to be certain people that you around, brothers, whatever. It come to a time we get split up, and you got to remember those times that we suffered together and we worked hard together to serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and that'll keep your faith boosted. Same way with, if it comes to, a woman who's with a man of the Lord, you gotta get to that point where if you are alone, you know that we're not alone, man. The Lord's with us. So it says he is despised and rejected of men, right? A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Doesn't mean that we just always just down, but we're used to going through hard times. Okay. And not saying that the Lord's just going to put you through hard times all the time. He's going to give you periods of time where you get to, rest. It kind of comes in waves, and how do we know that? How do we know it comes in segments? Right here. Because what he's really correcting, ultimately is our perception on what is success, That's what we're going to find the glory in by whenever we go through tough times, we act different than the rest of the world. So let me get over here and pull this one up. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 11. And it reads, "For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a fool into the nations whither I have scattered thee." Right? Basically saying that it's coming to a point where he's going to basically killed the damn near majority of everybody, and the rest of them are going into slavery wherever we've been scattered. It says, "Yet I will not make a fool end of thee," which means what? He's going to bring out the elect through all that suffering, "But I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." So we got to go through, our punishment too. And this life is a form of chastisement from the Most High, man. Like, that's what this is. So we're not here to really, things to go our way. We're here basically this time to basically our whole life is an atonement for whatever we've done in the past, man. This is part of our atonement, doing this work, and his burden is light. When it says his burden is light, is we didn't have to, we went through a long period of time. There was a falling away where we wasn't even teaching the word. We was out there lost for centuries, man. And then finally, at the very end, he said, "All right, well, did this time work for me?" So, hey, and the work was not as easy back then. You know how you had Paul out there in Turkey? He was going all over the place looking for Jake, man. He made it where we just get on the internet and do the work and, go through whatever we got to go through for the day. And thank the Most High that he's actually chastising us too. A lot of people don't like to thank the Lord that you're going through some shit. Okay, because without that, then he's looking at you as he's not even dealing with you. We're gonna prove it. So it says, "A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not." That's how most Israelites were to the Most High, and that's how they are today. That's how a lot of our people today, with the Most High, they don't really recognize, him as somebody. To prepare to meet. So verse 4, "Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows." So whatever we're going through, the Lord's already dealt with that, man. He's already dealt with that. That's why we have to go through it, or he can't consider us as his sons and daughters. So yeah, we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted, right? So if you were somebody who's been, living fairly pretty good most of your life, the fact that you're going through something right now, that means the Lord really didn't want you to perish, man. And people don't see it like that. That's because our minds have been so wired into being comfortable, because that's how America, Babylon the Great is, man. It makes you want to be comfortable here because you see all these, all these other people and around you, and they're racing towards this mindset where they think the world owes them comfort, man. And we not. Hey, man, we were bought with a price. We owe the Lord. He don't owe us. He don't owe us. So and this is also showing why we got to go through this. This is Yahawashi speaking, John 13:16. Verily I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither is he that is sent greater than he that sent him. And that right here shows you that Yahawah, the Heavenly Father, is not the same as the Son. That's why it's saying he's not greater than Yahawashi is not greater than the Father. That's why it's saying that. But you got a lot of people, they try to basically the Holy Trinity doctrine, like, oh, it's just all one. No, the Father is above the Son. So this is the order. And it says, and if you know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. So what it means by happy, when it talks about happy, doesn't mean you ain't going to go through nothing. What it's saying is that at the end, your result of your suffering is going to bring you immortality, man, because the Lord's going to accept you. But without that suffering, the Lord's not dealing with you. So right here, first 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, and he said unto me, this is Paul speaking, my grace is sufficient for thee. And what's that grace? That grace period is correcting you in measure instead of just correcting you at a full force for sinning against the Lord, man. That's grace right there. To allow us to learn from our correction, learn from our mistakes, learn from our those are basically your best teachers, your last mistake. Because if you can take that and apply that to your life, and and look at it in a spiritual sense, that it's the Lord basically showing you that he's dealing with you, then you'll pass that test and he'll give you another one. And that's what we want to do. We want to pass the test that he sets before us. But the only way we can do them, of course, is pray to the Heavenly Father that he keeps us in that spirit, man, because he controls everything. So it says, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. And this place is all about, you got to be the toughest, and you got to be like, it's all got to come off the muscle. And that's not really how we're supposed to be, man. We're supposed to lean on Yahawashi. That's how he wants us to be, because it's going to come to a point where there's not going to be nothing else to rely on, man. Our jobs, whatever, a little side hustles, whatever, man. All that is going to be gone. And we got to be able to be like Paul, like saying, like, this is sufficient. This is enough. I could be out here in the field with you. You go through whatever I got to go through. This is enough for me to, to be thankful for. That's the spirit we got to stay in, and we all fight, man. We all fight. Sometimes we like, man, it's some bullshit. But that's why we stay in the scriptures every day, because then it keeps us in this mindset, man. It keeps us grounded. So most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach, which is talking about Yahawashi, may rest upon me. See? So that's the only way he's going to rest upon you, is if you take your correction the right way. Then he'll stay with you, because it's just like, there's another scripture that the Lord said, why would I basically punish you more and more, because you're just going to revolt more and more. The only people that he's resting with are the ones who are taking their correction right. That's why it's like you in the brotherhood, you just getting corrected, and you ain't taking it the right way, then you get kicked out the damn camp. That's how the Lord works, man. So right here, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7. Let's go up a little bit. A father's discipline, right? Verse 4, ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin, which means what? In this lifetime, we haven't, not yet. We haven't got to the point where we got damn beaten or whipped or something to be in the truth. But there were times that, there are probably other lifetimes we died in the faith, man. Got put to death for this shit, man. And I don't mean to say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we died for this truth, man. That's why we're getting it right now. You know? And even though we obtained the truth, we gotta keep it to the end. So, like it's saying, ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Right? We haven't got to a point where we fighting sin so much that we didn't goddamn put to death for it. And that's what's coming. That MOTB, that CHIP, putting your right hand to your forehead, man. You believing in the truth could get you put to death, man, to get you tortured or something out here. So you have to have your mind spiritually prepared for that it could happen, man. Verse 5, and if ye have forgotten the exhortation, which means warning, which speaketh unto you as unto children, right? Because this is something that we all have to deal with. If you want to be the elect, it don't matter how old you are. If you want to be the elect, you have to be prepared for this kind of stuff, man. You know, the Lord is not no respecter of persons, and what we mean by that is, you know, basically whatever you got coming for you, the Lord is going to allow that cup to pass through, man, for you to be, you know, chastened to the limit that you're supposed to be chastened. So it says, for you to accept them, to you know, be grafted into the you know, his people. So unto you as children, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Right. So that's how a lot of people fall out of the truth, because once they get chastened of the Lord, they take it the wrong way, man, and they fall out. They start being like, oh, like the Lord ain't dealing with them just because you got corrected or you got in trouble or whatever. No, that's showing you that he's dealing with you. Verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. That's why Esau, Edom, so-called white man, he's got everything in the earth, and he just done all this wickedness, and the Lord ain't really punished him at all. He just been out here just being damn wicked, and they be dying old in their bed and shit after they just done all this demon ass shit, because the Lord's not dealing with them. He doesn't want them, and he wants their judgment to come upon them. So every you know, this is even going into, you know, you believers as women. This is going into y'all too. If he doesn't chastise you, then that means he don't love you. So that shows that we good right now. Even though it don't seem like it, we're good right now. We're the only ones in the earth that's being prepared for salvation, man. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, do what the Most High dealeth with you as sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? You know? And the Lord will put you through stuff so you can get an understanding of, you know, that he wants you to lean on specifically him. And that's how he's doing with the hopeful elect women too. He's gotten them where they're to the point where all they can do is lean on whoever husband that he basically appointed them to. That's why he's putting us through suffering, so we can, you know, we can root out that Babylonian mindset, man, that American mindset out of us that you can do it on your own. We can't do it on our own, man. Verse 8, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. That's how you know he's not dealing with Esau, even so-called white man. He's not dealing with him. You know? So we're gonna go to Acts 14:22. We're gonna pull up a few articles and then we're gonna get out of here. Okay, this is this much tribulation coming. Okay. This is what we got to face, man. If we want to get to the Most High, this is what's going to confirm whether you're the elect or not. How you endure your fight of afflictions. If you're out here comfortable like everybody else right now, then how are you somebody who is illuminated? It's like, grab me some water. How are you illuminated? You know, how are you illuminated, man? There's no way. If you ain't going through nothing. Like, you know, we don't mean just like you just damn in World War III yet. What we're saying is that, you know, things are just not easily obtained, you know. So it's Acts chapter 14, verse 22. We read it all the time. Confirming the souls of the disciples, right? And exhorting them to continue in the faith. Basically warning you, like, stay with it. And that we, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High, which is the order, you know, starting with the men. This is what we're going to have to go through, man. There's no way out of this. There's no way out of what's coming ahead. And that's what you got to think of it like as an Israelite. Like, it's going to get harder. It's not going to get easier. It's not supposed to get easier for you. It's supposed to get to the point to where you're basically hanging on your last damn leg. Okay? Spiritually, and, it could be damn physically. You barely fucking making it. And then the Lord saves your ass. It said the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So if you thinking that you just going to be out here, everything going to go your way, that's not the mindset you want to be in, And your flesh naturally wants things to go that way, but that's what we're doing right now. We're denying our flesh, And that's something that, the few believers that I talk to, they help remind me too, we supposed to be decreasing while the Lord increases. So, don't expect nothing great for your life, man. Don't expect nothing just super great gonna happen to you, okay? Because then you're going the wrong way. Here, we'll pull this one up, and then we're gonna watch this video, and we're gonna have this dude give you a little update on World War III. So this is Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 5, and it says, and seekest thou great things for thyself? Right? Seek them not. Why? For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. Right? And this Lord is all caps, is talking about Yahawah. But thy life I will give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest. Like, we're going to be considered as prey in that day. Everybody going to think like, oh, they ain't going to make it. And we're going to be the damn ones that make it. Rawchaa, Lord willing, man, we the ones that make it, man. Because we understood our affliction. A lot of people don't understand their affliction. They be like, why, Lord, why? But we're the only ones that's really getting it. And it talks about, the servants of the Lord. We complain to the Lord continually about the wickedness going on in the earth, So every now and then you'll be like, man, it'll vex you, and you'll be like, man, Lord, this is some bullshit. But you just power through that shit, Jake, because that shit is going to get us out of here. And then the more you go through it, the better you get at it, Being able to take chastisement cheerfully, man, knowing that the Lord is correcting you so you don't get blown up with the missiles, man. So here's what this guy was talking about. He made a couple good points. It's only a 10-minute video. We ain't going to watch all of it, but we're going to go into it.
The United States could be going to war in the matter of days, and this could seriously be the start of World War III. Look what just happened today, because there's actually a few things that have happened over the past 48 hours that are extremely concerning. I've already touched on this a little bit earlier today, but now this is scary. Look at this. It says the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth abruptly summons top military commanders to a meeting in Virginia next week. That right there is alarming, because nobody knows why they're coming to the United States, why they're going to meet in Virginia at a secure location. These are going to be potentially hundreds of top U.S. commanders, admirals, generals coming back to the U.S. for a meeting. But why?
Why? It's because World War III. But first, the famine of the word has to come. But I just want to put this in here to show you why. This is what they're doing. They're making counsel, and then they're making war. So they got to make counsel, then war. This is how it starts. This is why everybody in the earth is, they're like, damn, this is a big deal. But for somebody who's like just don't really understand the Lord, they'll just probably be like, all right, whatever. They're just gonna go meet. Well, we could do this one right here, and then we'll go into Proverbs 24, verse 6. But Proverbs 20, verse 18, it says, every purpose is established by counsel. So World War III, for it to happen, counsel has to be established. But they got to first do some other stuff. That's what they're making counsel on. All right, first we got to do this, and then we're going to go to war. That's what they're doing. Okay? So Proverbs 20, verse 18, like I said, every purpose is established by counsel, and when good advice make war. So then when you go to Proverbs 24, verse 6, wait. That's a good one, but I think it was a little bit up more. Let me see again. No, that was right. Proverbs 24, verse 6. It says, "For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety." So that's why they're saying everybody come here. That's why they're doing it like that. That's how war is basically conducted. They all got to come together, and then they're gonna talk about it, right? So we're gonna keep going. So we got to get prepared, man, because they're making counsel against us too. Okay, because this truth has disrupted the world, man. It's turned it upside down, man. They like pissed off because they can't really make no moves now without in private in silence no more. Everybody knows how they do stuff now because the Lord's exposed them. So continuing.
Listen to this.
A highly unusual military meeting is scheduled to take place next week. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has called hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals from around the world to come to Virginia on Tuesday. According to several officials, the gathering will be held at the military installation in Quantico. The Pentagon has confirmed Pete Hegseth will be addressing military leaders, but would not say what will be discussed. Sources close to the matter say it is...
Guess what? Guess what's on Tuesday? The day of affliction for us. See? So while we're afflicting our souls, they're finna start preparing to kill everybody, man. Go to war. All right? That's what's happening. We're supposed to be basically going the opposite direction of Esau, even so-called white man right now. Because they're finna start killing shit, man. Them Edomites is finna start putting people to death, man.
Rare to have a large gathering of so many senior military officials in the same place at the same time.
This game,
Lucky.
you're not ready for it.
All right.
Yeah, this is something that is unheard of. I believe the last time something like this happened was in like the 1980s or something like that. Again, that's very interesting. But I want to play something for you in a second. But before I do that, I want to read a little bit about this, okay? Look at this right here. It says, senior military officials in some cases command thousands of troops. Most have detailed schedules weeks in advance, which now have been upended. People are scrambling to change their plans and see if they have to attend. Now, I received a message from a friend of mine who is in the military. I'm not going to say where he's located. It's not here in the United States. He isn't stateside, but he did say this. He wrote to me and he wrote this in all caps, and he wrote, and I quote, "It is crazy over here and nobody is telling us anything. Do you know what this meeting is about?" So going back and forth, he's pretty much saying that everybody is freaking out because are they about to go to war? Well, this is where things get interesting because this is what happened earlier on today.
We are learning, according to the North American Aerospace Defense Command, also known as NORAD, the U.S. scrambled fighter jets and other aircraft to identify and intercept 4 Russian warplanes flying near Alaska today. It's the 3rd time in about a month and the 9th time this year that NORAD has reported such an incident involving Russian aircraft flying near Alaska.
So it's the 3rd time within a month that Russian aircraft has been spotted off the coast of Alaska. Yes, in international airspace.
You know how they do their numbers, man. We ain't gonna keep explaining that, but it's always like that with all their stuff. And he just kind of goes into it a little bit more. We ain't gonna list too much more of them, but we're just showing you that meeting is happening on the Day of Atonement. That was the main thing that I wanted to point out. While we're afflicting our souls and we're suffering, they're finna start inflicting suffering, man. Okay? So we got to have our spirits right, man, right now, And while that's going on, you got the World Economic Forum. They trying to tell the governments to ban the Bible, right? And issue a fact-checked version without the Most High. Well, how are you going to make a Bible without the Most High? Like, how is that? just gonna make a fact check. You just go put the Bible on ChatGPT and tell them the correct. Like, this is what we saying, man. We about to go through a lot of afflictions to be in this truth, man. But it's gonna be worth it in the end. We'll watch a little bit of it, but he's saying the Bible fake news, blah blah. Let's see what the video talking about, and then we'll pull up
the World Economic Forum is
getting out of here.
For all religious scripture to be rewritten by artificial intelligence to create a globalized new Bible. Yuval Noah Harari, who serves as Klaus Schwab's right-hand man at the WEF, argues that the Bible is fake news and full of hate speech.
Because this dude's a sodomite. You know, he has a husband and stuff. So he, of course, he don't like the scriptures because it talks about all in the scriptures how sodomites would get stoned to death and they done got blown up for being damn wicked. That's why he don't like it. You know?
And the elites can use AI to replace the Bible and create a unified religion that's actually correct. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. The link is below this video. Harari, who's known as the prophet in Davos circles, made the statement while giving a speech on the future of humanity. According to Harari, the power of AI can be harnessed and used to reshape spirituality into the WEF's globalist vision of equity and inclusivity.
Can even write a new Bible. We, throughout history, religions dreamt about having a book written by a superhuman intelligence, by a non-human entity. Every religion claims our book, all the other books of the other religions, humans wrote them. But our book, no. It came from some superhuman intelligence. In a few years, there might be religions that are actually correct.
According to the WEF, a new one world religion has arrived, and it unites all of humanity in worshipping at the altar of climate science, occult techno-communism, and eugenics. But the blasphemy coming from the WEF gets even worse. On the other side of this quick break, we'll expose exactly what Klaus Schwab's Davos elites are planning to do with religion. But first, an important word from our sponsor. I know I should eat healthier, but I don't. Doctors say that we should eat 6 cups of fruit and vegetables.
Past that.
Specific functions, such as heart health, liver, and kidney health, immune system, and it really works. Field of Greens works really fast, and if you're...
Come on, man. Hey, this motherfucker was...
Take Field of Greens, and at your next...
He was trying to sell that shit. Come on, man. Right here. Man, this motherfucker done froze up.
Christianity is fake news that must be dismissed by humanity. But the blasphemy doesn't stop there. The WEF has also announced that they've been so successful in their plans that they will turn humans into gods.
Developing even bigger powers than ever before. We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
Yeah, you're gonna need the MOTB CHIP to do that. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need that MOTB for them because there's no way that they're gonna be superhuman without it. That's and really, what's gonna happen is it's gonna turn on them, man. If you take that thing, this is the first thing that's gonna possibly happen to you. We ain't gonna say it is, but this is gonna happen to a lot of people. Okay, we're gonna pull this up. When you take that thing, they trying to tell you you're gonna be a damn god and shit, and you don't want to. Like we said, don't ever give a sword to a man that can't dance. Remember that? Remember how we talked about that the other week? Don't trust nobody who talking about you gonna be a god and this motherfucker can't even get on a basketball court, do a damn crossover and a layup. Do not trust these people, man. Okay, you gonna end up with boils all over your ass. And this is the curses coming back. These are the curses that were upon Egypt. They're the same ones that are coming back. It's just in a more digital, advanced form. This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, "Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth." Right, this judgment. Okay. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the what? The charagma. That's how you say that word, M-A-R-K, or M-A-R-K. How you say it in the Greek is charagma, which means an incision, right? Of the what? The beast. What's the beast? NATO and the EU. Okay. What's the World Economic Forum? And all these people, they all in the, they're all in the same plan. Okay. Basically to mark their cattle, which is the people. And upon them which worshiped his image, which is the system, man. This digital system that they're trying to create is a system of that beast system, man. That's the image, the barcode generated AI system, man. That's what they're trying to do. So, we're going to go into what has to happen first before World War III. So, you got people they're talking about, oh, this is a big deal. Esau is meeting up. Well, until we stop teaching the truth, then that's it. It's still going to be out here, man. It's still going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's still going to be stuff going on. We're going to hear about wars, rumors of wars. We're going to hear people talking, but whenever we start when we start teaching, that's when you really need to know you need to be ready, man. You need to be like, damn, you need to really be ready once we stop teaching. So this is Amos chapter 9, verse 7, or about 9, verse 11. And we're going to go back a little bit, but that's what's coming. Let me go back up. Let me go back. Oh, yeah, that's up there. I'm just going to go into the, I want to go into 9, but we need to go over here to 8. I'm going to read a little bit of 9, too, of why this is going to happen. So this has to happen so he can raise up the tabernacle, man. So it's Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawashi, will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Because what they're going to do, they're going to basically get rid of the scriptures, and they're going to put all this AI revised ass Bibles out there. Okay. You already got Trump. He got Trump Bibles that he had made in China. This motherfucker, man. That dude cracked me up, man. Something wrong with that guy. Verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. And they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And I'm not saying they might not necessarily just run up on your ass, but they're gonna be looking everywhere on the internet. They're gonna be trying to find the damn truth. They ain't gonna be there no more. They're gonna be like, damn, where was all them GMS brothers doing them scriptures at? They were looking all over the internet. Them motherfuckers is not gonna be here no more. Talking about the lessons. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And let's say you do run into one of us. This is what he said he's going to do to us. I even had dreams on it. I had dreams about this, where I was trying to tell somebody the truth, and the Lord made it where I couldn't even say it. I couldn't even teach it. I was like, I was trying to teach it. I couldn't. I was like, look, it's right here. And I was trying to show somebody. I couldn't even show them. Man. Okay, because right now we're apt to teach. We're teachers. We love teaching this. We love talking about the Lord. But he's going to make it where we can't. So this is Ezekiel 3:25, but thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them, right? That's what we're doing right now. We go out to the highways and byways every week, and we come out here and we teach the truth. We come out here and tell you what's going on. We do lessons every day, but he's going to bind it where we can't go out there no more. This is part of the family of the word. Verse 26, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth. He's going to basically shut the truth up in us. We ain't going to be able to tell you no more. That thou shalt be dumb, which is basically saying like, not just like actually retarded, but it's just saying like, we ain't going to be able to tell you. Like he's gonna basically remove the understanding from us in a sense, you know, and seal it in us to where it's like, damn, I don't even know how to explain it to you, but I know it's real. Like kind of like that, you know, spiritual wise. Because we ain't gonna be talking to you. By the time family to work come, hey, I'll tell you this. If you ain't in this truth, I ain't saying nothing to your ass. I'm gonna just probably see your ass take off running down the street away from your ass. Cause Lord for the fuck your ass up, boy. You should get the hell out of the way away from me, man. Hell nah. And shall not be to them a reprover, right? Well, we talked about that. The Lord, if he loves you, he's gonna reprove you. He's gonna tell you, you know, he's gonna correct you. And he does that through his men most of the time. Sometimes he does it through just whooping your ass, okay, in some kind of way, you know, with the elements or whatever. You know, dealing with whatever you're going to. For they are a rebellious house, right? So you're going to cut it off, man, where you, like, we ain't going to tell you no more. So that's what's coming. Because most people, man, they going to go with this AI stuff, man. Because Esau, he sold his birthright, man. So he's trying to make a digital one right now. That's what he's trying to do. Because he knows that's his only chance. He wants to be like the Most High. That's what he said. Yeah, we're going to be gods. We're making gods. Man, no, y'all ain't. No, y'all ain't, man. But yeah, you know, that was just kind of what I wanted to go into, you know, dealing with, you know, we finna go into the day of affliction in the next couple of days. But like we said, hey, they meeting over there to go to war, man. So we got to be in the spirit of, you know, and to apply Yahawashi right now and make sure that you know that those wrinkles in your eyes, okay, is not a bad thing, okay, which is just a speech, a phrase, you know, what, how do you say that? What's that? It's like you know, it's not meaning necessarily like physically. It's saying like spiritually, your struggle. It's good that you're struggling, Jake, and we got to remember that. Me too, talking myself first and foremost, you know, because I just got into the truth. Like I'm a baby in the truth. I've been in the truth for like 2.5 years, come on 3 years. Lord's whooping my ass, okay? So get prepared, Jake, especially if you new, okay? Because the Lord's going, you thought you're going to come in here and just ain't going to get your ass whooped. You got another thing coming. The Lord going to snatch the new earrings off you. You're going to be like us. You're going to have them wrinkles in your ass. So Shalom to elect Israel, hopefully elect Israel, Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreigners like the other nations, scattered across 4 corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, let us all to this truth. Peace and blessings to the elect. Lord willing is edifying to the flock. Kwame Yasharala, Wa Ababa Ball, Shalom.